Hello everyone. We're gonna be trying this game that is called Stanley Parable. I think it's a psycho game. People say that it will cause conflicts and you will go crazy playing it. Anyways, that is how it begins. Have you played the Stanley Parable before? No. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Okay, it's barely visible now. Please enter the current time. What time is it now? 9:58. Show me the time again. 9:58. Okay. Note accessibility setting can be accessed from the main menu, of course. Settings. Okay. Audio. Easy. You pause, you interact, you crouch. Okay, you look, you move. Begin the game. Never the end is never the end is never the end is loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
427.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month
Voila.
of every year.
Oh my god, what a joke.
Others might have considered it soul-lifting. Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
He's a robot.
Stanley was happy.
Yeah, there are people who are happy in these type of jobs
And
because
then
they
one
found
day,
their
something
comfort
very
zone.
peculiar
That's
happened.
totally normal. People are
Something
different.
that would forever change Stanley. Something
Okay.
he would never quite forget.
Okay.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he
All right.
realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation.
Okay.
Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, should I go out of my office? Let me look around first. There might be a trick. I just keep touching things. Okay, let's get out of the office.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Maybe it's a Sunday or something. No one is working today. Where is the meeting room? Where is the meeting room?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Why should I follow what he said? Okay, let's remember, Stanley is someone who is bound to rules and like his comfort zone. So, if the storyteller is talking about Stanley, someone who follows what's being said to him, should I follow what's being said to me because I am Stanley? To my left, okay, let's follow the door. Open the door!
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Yeah, that's the meeting
Feeling a
room.
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Meeting room, floor 4, group. Okay. I need to go to the manager room. Okay, tomorrow reflect. Get the Christ out, not efficient. Using slides to assuring. Oh, everyone is unique. You, most of all. Thank you. Skip to the next slide. Number of slides on this slide. Slides. Charts. Charts and slides. Rate at which chart on the same slide divide the same information. Rate of increase in per graph. Please know more. The boss appreciation minute. On your boss appreciation minute worksheet, circle the top thing you move most of the. Okay. Like yourself. Okay. Why did we hire you? Remember that it takes 2 people to do. What are your dreams for the future? About success, plant life, football, pollution, metamorphose, tips for not getting fired. Talk less, do unbelievably amazing job all the time, every day, with no expectations of promotion or recognition, and don't get fired. Okay. How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball inside you, take it out passive aggressively on other coworkers. Recent coworkers for not supporting you. Okay. That's funny, actually. I should go to the 4th floor, although I am on the 4th floor. Broom closet. I'm in the closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No
Is it
reason to
empty?
still be here.
Okay. Are you sure? Okay. Stanley closed the door.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, there is something there. It's red. And there is the boss. Okay, go down first. It's the exit. Is this a message or something? No, it won't be. Yeah, there is something written there.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss
Yeah.
would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For
Which are?
example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
What?
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever
Yes.
he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue.
Am
He
I
just
dreaming?
hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. and he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley
Yes.
marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all
Because I
entered
smoked
Stanley's
coke.
head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
What?
Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Yes.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
And now you are thinking that you are thinking that I am thinking that you are thinking that you are talking to me.
The truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was
What?
Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control. That
I am
this
not.
was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal.
I'm just an
Everything will be fine.
everyday normal.
I am okay.
Okay, where I am.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
اتفضلوا. We turned off the lights.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. Then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Did she call the ambulance or she just ran? She called the ambulance. Okay, the end is loading. What? Where am I? Okay, so I died because I was crazy.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So it repeated itself because I died? Okay, this time, guys, let's see. Well, guys, see you in another video of this game. We're gonna try different choices and see how will it go.